welcome to the Helix webinar series. Today's session is on What's New in Digital Workplace 26.1. Joining me today again are double duo, Kath and Deepak, who will do their formal introductions shortly. But before we do so, just a couple of reminders. We do have the Q&A section of Zoom for those that are new to these webinars. If you do have any questions during the session, when one of the presenters isn't presenting, they will try to answer the questions, and then we will have roughly around 15 minutes at the end. However, I say roughly because I know our two presenters love to talk, not that I don't. So we will try to get to some of your questions at least during the session, and anything we don't cover during today, we will answer offline and we will put into a blog post. So without further ado, I think, Kath, if I'm correct, you kick things off and I'll hand over to you.
Sure, I will. So my name is Karl Falk. I think most of you have met me already. It's been a few years, and I think it's again very exciting to have a new release out there, and I think we have gotten to a pretty good cadence now. We have our developers delivering every quarter, and the upgrades are a little bit easier so you can consume it. And to get to these new things, you of course need to upgrade, but I think it's just exciting to see all the new things we get out there. So today we have a number of new features. Let me go on to this first. As you know, some of it are things we haven't released yet, and because of that, we want you to keep it to yourself. And also, it might, when we talk about futures, not too much today, I would say, but a few future things. Remember that it might not be exactly like we describe it here, because when you develop things, we might find that you need to do it a little bit differently. So that's what these two sections are about. And the 26.1 release is, of course, not just DWP. It is employee engagement and enterprise service management, which is BWF. We have the agents of different kinds. So that is one part. And as you know, Deepak and I are responsible for the employee engagement. Service management in general, like TSM, OpsSwarmer, the other agents is another section, and Agent Studio that we use in Employee Navigator, we use in Catalog Creator is of course important as well. I'm not going to go through all these. You will get the slides and you can see what we focus on. Today, we will just focus on the employee experience side of the house. I'll do it a little bit differently this time. We normally go through slides and talk about each of the features. We decided to not do that this time and actually focus on demos mostly. So you see we have 9 features GA that I take responsibility for, and we have 3 at the bottom coming in upcoming releases. And the reason I put them on there is that we really like working with you, a few of you as customers, before we have the final release out, because if you're ready to spend a little bit of time with us, you can impact how the functionality works, and the rest of our customers will get the more ready to go product. So that's why I listed those 3 at the bottom. The first thing is really a pride for me. On docs.bmc.com, you can now see that there is a floating icon with a bot on it. It's Employee Navigator and the embedded chat panel that we released in 25.4 that is used on behind the scene is an agent, and it has tools to pick up information from our docs site. You can ask questions about our products. It's important that you mention which products you want to ask about. Otherwise, you can ask almost anything about the products, and instead of browsing and finding things, it will give you answers. Pretty nice. We released it a few weeks back, and if there are things you do think should be improved, please give feedback. There is this thumbs down capability. Our documentation team will pick it up and work to improve. But please use it a lot and give a lot of feedback, positive and negative, of course. So I just wanted to point to that. So that is number one. Number two is about our integration with MCP. MCP, for those who know, is Model Context Protocol, which is a kind of standard to AI agents, so they can use tools that are provided by others. So this is my my environment, and it's 26.1. On here, I have created a specific agent, a custom agent, and instead of using the knowledge base in Helix, I have connected it to Microsoft's MCP server. It's a remote server hosted by Microsoft. And when I chat with, so I behave as an MCP client, my MCP server. And then I can ask questions, and they have all their documentation in this MCP site. So what does that mean? Articles trying to keep up with all Microsoft releases, and they will update the documentation, and you will still have a fresh knowledge base about their products. I did the same thing for Google's developer knowledge base. They have documentation there for Google Cloud Services, so you can add those two. That's just two examples. There are thousands of MCP servers coming up right now. There are two types of them, I would say. One is something you host. So you host the server and then it's calling the other service, or it is hosted by the vendor. In most cases, that is the easiest way to use an MCP server. So when you search for MCP servers, check that it is a hosted remote MCP server, because then you can just connect to it. I'll show you how to connect later on, but I have also showing here a welcome message on Employee Navigator, and I have a few buttons with predefined prompts. So when I click on that one, it is sending that to the agent. And the agent is now connecting to the MCP server and retrieving information about Copilot. So it will give us an answer in a few seconds. And it also gives us links to the documentation on there. So pretty nice. To set this up, you go to the HelixGPT Studio, Agent Studio. And out here you have this cogwheel, and we have now added something called MCP servers. And you see here is the Microsoft Learn one, and here is the Google Developer one. The good thing with the Microsoft one is that you don't really need any authentication. It is open. So you give it a name, a description, the URL. You see it's just the URL like a web server, and there is no authentication needed. The Google one is a little bit harder to set up because they require a token. So you need to get an API key from Google. It's easy to find out how that works, but here is their URL. And we support OAuth as this third authentication method. I think this is giving you a lot of new opportunities. These servers are just read. There are many other servers where you can also post things or update things. So that's, of course, possible. So that was about the MCP servers. If you go to DWP, I need to get rid of this part from Chrome. So now DWP, this one is this. So we log in as Paul Bunyan, and you see the normal page, and now we have this thing, the floating icon that we had for Helix Virtual Agent. It's now available also for Employee Navigator, and we have extended it a bit. You see it's a little bit bigger, so the size of the icon will decide how big it is here. If you go to a mobile, it will be resized a little bit smaller on mobile, so it doesn't cover too much of the mobile screen. It is draggable, so you can put it somewhere where it doesn't hide something, or if you want to hide something, you can do that, of course. If you put it up here and then refresh the screen, it's going back to an initial place. You see, it's coming up here. That's because I've configured it like that. You have possibility to set it up here, 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 or here as a default option. So it depends on how you want to handle it. If you click on it, you get the side panel, and you get a welcome message. You get these predefined prompts like before. In this release, we have decided to predefine some of these things. So when you get a new environment, not an upgraded, but a new environment, we have populated some of the skills with some prompts and tested that they work well. So you can get started very quickly. You still have this one up here, so you can use that one to the side panel. You can use this one, and if you want, you can hide either of them. You don't need both, of course, but it's up to you how you use it. So that's about that. The actual Employee Navigator supervisor agent and its sub-agents have been improved, and we are working to make it more and more human-like. That is our vision, that it should be as human-like as possible. It should feel like you talk to human. So if I say help, it will, of course, ask you what do you need help with, and then I can say laptop. I can be very sparse in my words, and it is going to continue to ask until it understands what I really look for. Raise a request, maybe I say. So now it's checking the catalog. Is there something that might fit with catalog? And then when I'm here, like before, you can either click on the link here, and you get to the actual form, the catalog item, or you can type one of these. So if you say hardware request, it will ask you, do you want me to walk through this? Oh, there were two of them. I didn't realize. IT asset request. You see, it's trying to give you all the options, so you can't really fool it. And now it's asking if I want you to walk me through, and then it's going through the questions one by one. So that's the default functionality. What we have done also is to try to tune and use the intelligence, I would say, of the agents. And the idea there is that it should reduce the number of questions asked. And if I, for example, say, I need help to fix my laptop, it is going to look in the catalog, of course. It's asking follow-up questions. But if I take a much more specific thing, let me paste the sentence here I prepared beforehand. So this sentence, or ask, you see, I request help to fix my laptop. So there you say fix, it will find the catalog item. Hopefully that's called fix, and repair. Laptop is indicating it is hardware, it is something that I need support on. I give it the actual number of the laptop, so it doesn't have to ask all these questions. I cannot connect to the network, which is indicating what kind of problem it is. And I also saying it's very urgent because I have a meeting in 60 minutes. So I need to connect to the network. So let's, we can clear it out so it's completely blank. So now what is going to happen? So it found the fix and repair because I said fix here. So if I say yes, it would either ask every question, which is the default functional, and if you use the prompt-based version, it actually asks you all those questions all the time. Now, it is actually picking up information. So you can see here is the problem statement. It was autofilled. It picked it up. I need urgent help, blah, blah, blah. Urgency, one critical, this one, and this one. And if I want, I can change urgency to high. So that is how the agent behaves and how we want it to behave. It is much more human. It's asking follow-up questions. But if you have given it the details, it will actually pick them up, and you don't really need to fill all the questions as an end user. For you that are admins of the catalog, this puts us in a new era because now when you design your catalog items, you should think about how do I actually want the agent to behave? How do I want the conversation to look? And what is a good way to define the catalog items? We have some recommendations, but I think this is good. We need to learn together on that. So let's work on coming up with best practices around this. How the agent works is that if you have a single select drop-down, for example, it will try to match the items in the single select with what you have written in the sentence. So using single select questions is a good best practice because then it can fill those automatically. So that is some of the things that you can do there. So that is the agent improvements. How are we on time? Yeah, fine. Next thing is live chat. How that works. So now you see it's asking for a brief summary, and it's I can say laptop here, and not connect to network. We have done the same thing here, that when you connect to live chat, we try to pick up the information from the conversation. And if you are used to the live chat handover, before it was at this stage asking for a topic. Now you only need to provide a kind of description of the issue, and it will automatically assign it to the correct queue in the backend. And that is, it auto selects a topic. That's what we call that functionality. Let me see if I have the right here, this one. So here is our live chat. Oh, it has ended for the support staff in ITSM. So they get a live chat because I was connecting to live chat. So let's see how that looks. So now you see here is a summary of the conversation, and it's been a minute in the queue. So as a user, I can immediately see what this is about. Core Banyan, so there is a summary, and here is what the assistant was saying. You see the topic, it's selected hardware as the topic. And if I accept it here, I can say, hi, Paul. And behind the scene, let's see, hi, Paul comes up there. Hi, can you help me with work? And then do you have Wi-Fi signal? And so on. I mean, the discussion goes on like this. And at the end, yes, and we can go on forever, but I'm not doing more than this. Okay, connect, and it will work. Thank you for today. This is a bit nasty support guy, right? He's very sure it's gonna be working. Now, when I end the chat, look at what happens here. This is new also. So now you get the stars, so you can rate the chat session. And because he was a little bit nasty, I just give him a 1, or maybe I can give him 2, or what do you say? And you see that here you have to give feedback when it's 1, when it's 2, when it's 3. If you go here, it is optional. This is all configurable. How many stars do you want to put as required text, and what do you accept without the feedback? A bit quick to close. Is the feedback, kind of. You also see this little thing here. This is so you can download the transcript if you want to save it, if there was some good recommendations from the support staff and you want to use it later, you want to send it in an email to someone, you get this transcript, and you can of course watch it here. So it's just a text file with all the interactions between you and the support person that you can forward to someone or save in your own documentation if you like. So that is it. Now I think there is one more thing. I'm not going to demo these other things here. I'm going to hand it over to Deepak if you're ready. I don't see you, Deepak. Are you ready?
Yes,
Or do you want me to continue?
I am. I am. I was answering. There were a lot of questions, so I'm so happy that everybody's so
Okay.
involved. Okay, let me turn on the camera. I hope you guys can see me.
Let me just mention here, value dashboard. In Helix dashboard, we have added a whole bunch of dashboards for the different agents, and they are based on the agent agentic AI version. For Employee Navigator, we had a dashboard called Conversational Details before, and it was based on the prompt version of our Employee Navigator. Now we have the agentic version and the new dashboard. So it comes out of the box, you can filter, you can do a lot of things. When it comes to these three, we are working on retrieving images from knowledge. We have that working, but we really want to test with your knowledge articles. So if you have a knowledge article with text mixed with images, screenshots, maybe, we can now retrieve the images in between. But I think it's good to test it with some real knowledge articles before we spread it to everybody. So if you want to test that, let us know, and we'll work with you to enable it and see how it works with your knowledge articles. When it comes to MS Teams, we are also improving that in each release now. So there are ability to attach images that we couldn't do before. So let's say you use MS Teams, you want to report a problem, and you have a screenshot that you can do now in MS Teams. Let us know if you want to test that. And this is the big thing we are releasing, voice-to-voice and screen share. It requires you to be on Google Gemini as your LLM because they are the only guys that can do this right now. So if we have someone who wants to test that, let us know. We'll work with you on that. Okay, thanks. Deepak, I'll move to your slide, right?
Yeah, I'll start sharing. I'm ready.
Oh, you're
Deepak
ready
is
to
sharing.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you. And I'm just gonna start sharing my
I'll drop my
screen.
camera then, so I can type.
Okay. All right. I can just see myself. I hope you can see my screen with the slides.
Yeah,
Thank you.
are you on the main screen? It just looks really small. I don't know if it's just me. Kath, can you see it
Yeah, it
in
looks small.
tiny?
It's a split screen. Is
Yeah.
that because you have your large screen and minimized one?
Yeah.
It works. It works, Deepak. It's not a problem. You can use it
Okay.
like that.
All right. So it's just the
Okay.
slides, right, that you guys can see?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to be talking about the catalog curator and the DWP enhancements that we have done in this release. The catalog curator is agent that you all are already aware that can help you build your catalog services, set up a catalog from the scratch. In this release, we have got multiple enhancements on that, and then we're going to subsequently talk about the DWP enhancements that we are doing in this release. We have done in this release 26.1. So now with this catalog curator, you will be able to edit existing catalog services. Earlier, you were only restricted to creating new services. Now you should be able to edit your existing catalog without anything. You don't need to chatify them or something. You just basically pick up. There will be a new option, edit in AI, that will be available to you, and then you can just pick it up and start editing that. So that gives you a lot of leverage to optimize your service catalog with catalog curator. We will start supporting the BWF case creation that you can create. Earlier, it was only limited to ITSM. Now you'll be able to create business workflow cases for LOBs using Catalog Curator. We have another agent, which is sub-agent, which is actually part of the Catalog Curator itself, that can help you generate surveys. So you don't have to manually create surveys. You can just chat with it and create satisfaction surveys in DWP, both in NPS as well as CSAT scoring method. Then guest portal, which we released as a standalone SKU that needs to be bought. In that we have now employee navigator available for the guests, basically not employees, but as a guest navigator. We have a different skill and we enable AI chat. You can crawl through your own website. You can provide public information on that and people will be able to search. So we'll go through the demo of all of that. On the DWP enhancement side, we have done pre-filling of the questionnaires through URLs. And so basically, when somebody click on a link, you can send the value parameter in the URL and you will be able to fill the forms by default, like when it loads, so that your end user don't have to resubmit or open the request and basically answer the similar kind of questions again. So we'll see a demo of that. Through this, you can increase the reusability of your same catalog and can repurpose the same catalog. and you can easily switch the locales now without logging in. No logins needed, re-login needed. Your DWP will automatically be switched to the locale, and the localization and the locales are actually brought up on the main screen on the top navigation bar. You don't have to go under the user preferences anymore. It's an opt-in setting. You'll be able to attach up to 50 images in the RTF RTF field, where you can basically text area field where you can add more details. So that gives you a lot of options that you can attach files. You can basically copy paste longer documents and can pass it on to business workflows and ITSM fulfillment as it is, really, if you enable RTF there. And last but not least, that's been there for many years, and you guys kept asking us, was who canceled the request and um, who basically reopened the request. It was all the connector account, but now starting this release, you will start seeing that the end user ID who did that activity will now be replaced there, will now be available moving forward. So without further ado, I'll take you guys into the demo of this feature. I hope you all can see my screen. Let me know, Sam or
Yeah,
Kath, if it
it's
is too
good.
small.
I think it's
Still a
good.
bit small. If you
Mm.
can maybe zoom a little bit so people can see the text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. Okay. So we'll go into the catalog curator part first, really, right? I'm just want to show you what all new features we have on the catalog curators part. So under the services, now you have a catalog assistant, which where I just said this is already available, but I just mentioned that you will be able to create business workflow cases, right? So typically the way you will create your service, I'm just saying create a service for employee background verification, create a BWF case as a fulfillment, right? I'm just instructing the LLM. So now it's gonna all create everything in the background. Automatically, it understand what is my need. It automatically picked up the template for catalog, which is the HR, building all the stuff automatically in the workflow. Now you can see the workflow type, fulfillment type as a business workflow case, and it is asking me to provide a template for business workflows. So we'll get to that. Let it build the service, and then we can define the business workflow case. So usually there is a template associated, right? So it's basically asking you that provide me the description of what you want, right? I can just say, show me recommended case templates, right? And so it's going to automatically understand the like the previous discussion I had with it and try to come up with a recommendation, right? For the case template. So it's gonna query your business workflows system and try to pull out the case templates which are related to this kind of request, right? So you can just quickly go and I mean, I'm just picking up anything really. Let's pick up an example. So I have given that information and I just say looks good, right? And by the way, this looks good. All of this is gonna come up as a button in a later release, but right now you just have to chat with it the same way. So it's now creating a service, and as you can see now, we are supporting, other than the ITSM, we are also supporting business workflow case creation. So it's going to be very beneficial for people in your organization, those who are actually managing your lines of business and actually creating your services, right, for those lines of business. So you will see, not here, but under the workflow, you're going to see the template name selection. This is the template that's going to be used by your process. And under the workflows, you will see another brick that's actually connected to the business workflow case creation along with the ITSM, right? So you can only create one kind of fulfillment right now. So we are providing you support for business workflows, incident, work order, and change. So this is the new addition that you will start seeing. So that was all about the first feature, that we start supporting business workflow cases. Now let's take a look at existing services. So I have a service which is for employee onboarding, right? Employee onboarding request. Foremost, the requirement is that your service should be in a draft mode. We are not allowing you to edit any service that is in production. So if you pick up any service that is already published, for example, this service, this will be grayed out if it is published. So you need to have a draft version. It's a security guardrail that we have given so that you don't by mistake make update to a service that is in production live used by the customer. So it will always have a draft, and always a draft will be updated. So this edit in AI will be a button will be automatically available if you turn on catalog curator. You don't have to do anything additionally to in order to make this work. If you have catalog curator available and it is turned on, this button will start showing up. So when you click on edit in AI, now it will basically go and understand, tell you I can edit attributes, I can edit profile and questionnaire. So let's ask it to add a question, right? So I say edit questionnaire. It's gonna render that. I could have directly done it from the screen, but I just wanted to show you the buttons really, right? How the button functionality is. And then I'm gonna ask it, let it render everything to me. I'm gonna quickly glance through it, and then I decide to make a change, and then I'll make a change to the questionnaire. Let's give it a minute. It's just taking a little bit longer that it should not. So this is my questionnaire section, right? I just say add another question to ask their employee about their correspondence address, right? It's gonna add a correspondence address. While this is coming up, few changes that you will see from the past. You have questions now marked as the ID. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. We have done it as an enhancement in this release so that it is easy for you to refer while asking LLM to make a change, right? You can say, hey, update Q1, hey, update Q2, right? And you can also see that we have conditional branching now available. So this service was supporting a conditional branch. So it is telling you that you have employment type as contractor. These are the options available here, right? Contractor, you have part-time, and then you have full-time, right? Option, and then there is a conditional question. So this is the visualization change that you will see, that you will have a condition here, and then you have a hyphen, and then this question is actually part of that condition. If you have multiple questions, they will all gonna show underneath that as hyphen, 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 and we'll get to the part where we make this change. So I asked it to add another question. Now it can add home address. I can make delta updates and save the changes, or I can just go and make updates all at once. I like this. I just say save. My changes are committed into the system. Okay. Now it is says your changes are published, not published, saved. Would you like me to go ahead and make any updates? So I'm gonna ask it to, because now I added contractors and others. I can just say show me profile, right? So now it's going to render the profile of that catalog service. I just glance at it and I see there is no reference of full-time or part-time employees. I can just say update profile details to show also contractors, full-time and part-time employees. Let's see what happens. So this is an existing service never created with catalog curator, was in your system before. Now you can edit it. So that's a major change that you're going to see. Okay, you can localize all the services. You can do everything possibly with this service. There are certain limitations to things that we don't support at the moment, and you will get to know about that once I take you forward. All right, I was not hoping that it will take so much time, but sometime it happened. These are all demo systems. Okay, all right. So you can see now the tags are automatically updated to have full-time employees, part-time employees, right? Search is based on that. My service excerpt and description is all updated. I'm happy. Save it. Let's move forward. So Delta updates, right? If I don't like it, then I can just, if I don't want to save it, I can just continue chatting with it forever and then say, okay, I just want to change it. I want to save all my changes at a later stage. I want to change the service title, right? Service name. For example, here you see in the beginning, the name of the service was employee onboarding edit demo, right? I'm gonna say update the service name to employee onboarding readiness webinar February 18th, right? I can just say that. So the idea is to show you that you can do all of that, right? Yeah, it was not able to do here for some reason, but like for example, things that are not supported, right? You will see like an icon there. If you try and ask it to update, right? You say, okay, go ahead and update this. It will not allow you to update. It will say things that are not supported. I'm not able to do that as part of the, of the AI. You got to go and make the changes. But again, let's try. I don't know why it basically did not update the service title. It should do that. Maybe give it another try. Yeah. Sorry for that. I don't know why it didn't work, but now you can see it has changed. So if I go and change the template name, it will not allow me, because things which are not supported, you will get a visual cue on the screen that you cannot do that. Okay. So I'm going to save this. Now you can do a lot of destructive work also with this, right? By mistake, you can delete a question, but you never intended to do that. We are giving you a revert option also with that you can say revert. Don't make any changes. Okay. So show me questions. Let's see a question, and then by mistake, try to mimic that scenario that by mistake you deleted a question, right, from the chat. Okay. I'm gonna say delete Q4. Okay. Q4 is the one that is actually used in the condition here. Now let's see, if I just delete that, it's gonna invalidate the entire condition, right? Now let's see how it lets you stop from those pitfalls and don't let you fail. Okay, so I deleted that. It's telling me that you are making a change that is related to a validation. If you do that, your condition will be violated. And I have an exclamation mark, right? It also tells you that I can let you revert this if you want. Okay, so it gives you the option wherever it can basically revert. I say revert, don't make that change. I'm not going to make that change because that's going to violate my conditional branch. So we have guardrails to save you from going wrong with this. And always remember, you are making a change in a draft version. You're not doing any changes. You can always go back to, do not publish this, delete this revision, and then keep the older one, right? So then like that, my question Q4 is back and I'm happy. I'm going to save and everything is available inside my catalog. Okay. So that was all about this functionality. There is a lot to be explored here. So I would definitely recommend that you guys play around with it. It comes at no cost to you. If you are already a catalog curator customer, you have that enabled, you get it along with that as part of it. All right, the next one is around surveys. As I said, you don't have to buy any additional SKU. Survey Assistant is part of the catalog curator, right? The moment you turn on the catalog curator, from here, catalog curator, you automatically gonna get all the functionalities I'm talking about. So now let's take a look at the survey assistant. It's gonna launch another survey creator. You can ask it to guide yourself, because some of your end users, they may not be proficient in the catalog. They may not have seen this new survey form at all. They may not have seen the thresholds that you can set, right? All of this. So what you can really do with this, it's gonna guide you what to do. Okay, for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna create the same, that I'm asking it to create a survey for HR requests and ask these many questions. And the survey threshold is every 1 week, ask that question. So now it is generating, and I asked it to create in English, French, Spanish, keep the CSAT scoring as 5 point scoring, and do a threshold as 7 days. So now it is generating that. You could automatically see right now that you have the options. So the first question, you have options, very satisfied, unsatisfied, neutral, all of that is available, and it is also translated into corresponding locales, right? Let's play a little bit with this. I'm going to say that, update my ratings to show stars. I'm not happy with smileys, show stars, and change the option of very unsatisfied to extremely unsatisfied. You don't need to be in the DWP UI anymore. You can just chat with it, right? So let's see what it does. Okay, let it load. Should take few seconds to come up, and then should show you really what it can do. Okay, and now you can see that. So you can see the rating is actually replaced from smileys to star. Okay, your text is automatically changes, the one that I changed from to unsatisfied to, basically I said very unsatisfied to extremely unsatisfied. It's going to automatically translate into corresponding language. Okay, now let's do one more creative stuff. Here we have introduced creation of the conditional branching. Okay, you may need to ask, why are you unsatisfied, right? So now I'm saying, ask user in few words to describe, when they are extremely unsatisfied, when they select extremely unsatisfied in Q1. I don't need to give the entire label. Okay, and now it is going to create a conditional branch automatically. We are going to bring conditional branching in subsequent release for catalog curator. and for editing use cases, but it is not supported at the moment. This is our first area where we're going to support conditional branching, but we're going to support it eventually that you will be able to create conditional branching. Okay. So now you can see it automatically added a conditional branch here. How was your what was your experience like? And then if it is extremely unsatisfied, then please provide me description in some words, why were you unsatisfied? Okay. Now, last thing that I just don't like my threshold to be 7 days. I want it to be threshold to be changed into percentage, and 50% of the request should go for the survey, right? That's another criteria that we have. So that you can see right now, the delivery restriction is now updated to 50%, right? So it's going to do its magic behind the scene. It's building the structure. I'm happy with it. My rating is changed. My conditional questions are changed. I'm gonna just say let it load, and I'm gonna say looks good, and we're gonna see what happens to the service. All right, it's taking a few minutes, a few seconds, and then I'm gonna say looks good. I'm hoping that it'll go and create a satisfaction survey. Okay, here it is. So I'm gonna quickly refresh, and then you have the HR satisfaction survey, and then in the survey designer you have all of this created, and then I have a conditional branch also created using this. Okay. And you can see survey threshold is also done. A frequency adjustment is also done. The only thing that we have not provided is mapping to the services that you will have to do yourself. Eventually, we'll provide you support for that. All right. So this was about this feature. Now let's move on to the add-ons queue that we have for guest portal. So this should not be a new thing for you all. If you have it, I have a separate webinar I have done for guest portal. Guest portal is a portal that you can create on a add-ons queue that you can buy from BMC that you can take your guest users to. So in this release, as Kaf was showing earlier, we have employee navigator that's customizable. You can have the floating icon same way. Floating icon can be placed anywhere, can be changed through branding. Now you have a different skill for this. So before going into the actual demo, you will start seeing in HelixGPT Studio, you will start seeing a guest portal application available here, and you will have a preceded skill given by BMC. You will be able to raise a request through that. You will be able to search the information from third-party websites or your own website. You can index it through the web crawler connector. So, and then you have a welcome message, and all of that is available. So you got to define the model. You have the agent sitting behind the scene. And then I have the search setting. I'm actually pointing it to BMC Learning website. Okay, let's quickly go through that. So I have my information source. I am on the BMC Learning website, which is our education website. Okay, for your knowledge, I am just indexing everything from that website to show you that it can be searched. So after doing that, you just got to go in as an administrator on the on the DWP side, on the guest portal, configure the guest portal, and then you have the capability to go and configure the search. I'm not going to cover all of that part because all of that is available as part of the previous webinar. The only thing that we have done is we introduced a chatbot setting. So there you're going to see a chat setting, and then you can define for employee navigator what skill you are using, right? So in this skill, you are only going to see the guest portal skill, right? And this is the part of customization that you can use. So I'm not going to go into detail of that. It's pretty straightforward. So now here I'm going, let's start a new topic. I'm saying, help me raise a request. So I have a generic request that is tied to this. Let me restore my session. Sorry about that. I have a service that is available as part of the, like the prompt, and I have created that service entitled this portal and the user. So now I can say, help me raise a request. So it's a generic request. It's going to go and find out that generic request and then can help me raise that. So it said, I found a general request that's in the catalog for entitled for this portal. I'm going to say, okay, help me do that. Okay. It's gonna ask me a few questions that are available as part of it. Help me identify. I'm gonna say this is my email address. Move forward. Then ask me the other question about, yeah, I need information about the next school year. And it says, are you happy with this? Can I submit on your behalf? Yes, please. And then it's going to create a request in the backend with that guest user. So the request is submitted. Now somebody from the backend can reach out to drudra@bmc.com and correspond. That's guest portal functionality. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to show you a use case that I can search the public knowledge, which is on that BMC education website. So I'm just saying, show me the list of available trainings for BMC Helix Digital Workplace. Now let's see, it should be able to go and crawl through that website and get it from the vector database and get me the links. So as you can see, it's not in my knowledge articles, it's the external site. It got me all links available, and then it gives me the link to the source link to the BMC website. I can go to the BMC courses and can look at all the digital workplace courses that are available. So you can do all of that. Knowledge articles are not supported at the moment. We are working with our team in the subsequent release to provide support for the knowledge article only for the guests. All right. Now, the next feature we talked about was a pre-filling of the catalog items. And I'll quickly take you through that. I know we just have 6 more minutes. We'll probably try to show you more on the features and take your questions at a later stage. But as you can see, I have a software service that asks you what product of Adobe would you like to install. I can select what version would you like to install. Okay, what is the cost that that will be to your cost center, right? Something XYZ. Can I repurpose this for multiple Adobe, like give users a link so that this information is pre-filled? Answer is yes. Now with this release. So what I have done, I have provided 2 links through Studio page. I say Adobe software installation. You can click on this link. You can click on this link. This is going to cost $10 per month for your cost center, and it will install Adobe Photoshop Latest. I click on it, and my URLs are pre-filled. There is a way, the way you will basically pre-fill the data. So you can see Adobe Photoshop is pre-filled, latest is pre-filled. If you have conditional questions, they will also be pre-filled, and the corresponding branch will be showed. And you have $10 that is automatically pre-filled. Let's try it out for another software. That's Illustrator 2023, $20 per month. So this way you can repurpose a same catalog item by providing pre-filled information to the user. So Illustrator 2023 and then $20 per month. So the way to do it is very, very simple. Okay. I'm going to quickly show you the URL. There will be a syntax that you will have to follow, and then you will have answers, you will have aliases for your catalog item that you need to send with the option values behind the scene. Okay, so that's what I'm sending here, and the cost information. All you got to do is just identify this number. This usually comes out during a checkout, and then you follow the syntax, have aliases created for your questions, and just pass the values in the background, and it's automatically gonna pre-fill this information. Okay. So this was about this feature. There's a little bit more nuance to it, but I definitely recommend go and check it out on our docs, how you need to do it. You will have to craft the URL. Now, this is the setting that we have done. So to bring out, switching of the locales, you will have to do a small setting in the administration under the languages. It's an opt-in setting. So you can say let users change the application language and show language picker on the navigation bar. You'll have to check this setting. The moment you do that, it's gonna move out from the application preference, and then I can just say show me the French, right? French version. So I'm gonna change it to Canadian French. It asks me to confirm. Without logging in, my application is switched. And if I just quickly look at the core pages, because I have not translated all my pages, if they are translated, will be automatically translated. Okay. Next feature is about, let's quickly switch back because I don't know this language. So, and I should probably take another 2 more minutes, but we are on time. So I'm sorry about that, but we wanted to really cover all the features. We can take your questions, can extend a little bit. So I'm not going to submit the service right now, but you can see I have a pre-submitted service. I can probably request again just to show you. I don't have time to go through all of that. I have a RTF field. Okay. As you can see in this field, now I've copy pasted so much text with all the formatting and everything. Okay. So many images. I can do all of that, honestly, inline links, images. And then I have another one where I have a document uploaded. So I can also go and upload a file from file uploader. I can also go and upload image from image uploader, or I can drag and drop. And I just submit this service. Okay. And if I enable this setting on Smart IT side, all of this will be automatically moved to Smart IT and business workflows. No separate setting needed, really. So now, as you can see, I just submitted this service. notes. This is the attachment. File attachment is going to the notes, and this is going to the work log. Sorry, not the work log, the description field. Okay, so let's take a look at this CRQ number in Smart IT, and we should be done real quick with this. All right. Okay, so this is your Smart IT view. Okay, let it load, and then you can see I mapped it in the workflow to the description field. You don't have to do anything, no conversions or anything. Really just map it to whatever field. It should be supported on the other side. That's the most important thing, that there should be a corresponding RTF field. So I do see that everything is available, right, in the description field. Additionally, I can see that I deliberately pushed this file attachment into the work note, so that's also available. That's a clickable link. If I click on it, it's going to be downloaded automatically. Okay. The last feature is about who canceled this. So let's cancel the same CRQ, right? So let's cancel this in middle of the execution. Let's see. Oh, okay. It is canceled. Okay, let's take so it canceled it from the background. I canceled it, probably did not show that. But now let's take a look at the work log notes to identify who canceled it. Same will apply for the reopen. If you reopen, it's going to tell you that you as an end user reopened, you as an end user canceled. Earlier it was Remedy Application Service or HANA admin. So that's gone. You don't have to do anything. Automatically system will take care of that moving forward. So let the work log load, and then you're going to see that in the work log. So we are on time. You can quickly see Alan Albrook, the user which I was logged in, has cancelled. So you're going to see all the state transitions with the corresponding user moving forward in Smart IT everywhere. So you don't have any ambiguity about who cancelled it. So I'll stop here. That was about all the features that we have done in this release. We are bang on time, but we have less time to take the questions.
I could have known better, but actually, to be honest, if we put 90 minutes, I think people can't always carry on. But should we just, if people don't mind staying for a few minutes, let's take a couple of the questions, and then what I will do is hand over the questions to Deepak and Kaf, and we'll answer them in the blog post. So if we go to the next question, I can see one from Kit. So it says, is the curator still limited to only create one fulfillment at a time?
Yes, at the moment, that's correct. And we will extend it to multiple at a later stage. But right now, as you can see, we are expanding the coverage area. We covered business workflows, so we are not restricted by number of fulfillments. We will support that eventually.
Great, thank you. And then the next question we had from Maria is, when you request the creation of the service, can you specify the custom forms for which you want to obtain, for example, the options of a menu?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and it's on our future roadmap that you will be able to create dynamic questions, qualifications. You can look up to a form, you can even pass a qualification. So stay tuned, it's on our roadmap. I will have something for you guys, hopefully, in the next release.
Great, thanks, Deepak. And then the next question is, Catalog Curator Agent available with ITSM standard license as well?
No, you have to be on the service management suite license. All our agents are actually licensed to the service management suite, and it's catalog curator is not part of the entitlement like you already get service collaborator and employee navigator. It's not that. You have to choose in your license if you want additionally catalog curator. It's a separate agent. It doesn't come out of the box.
Thank you, Deepak. And then the final question I can see in the Q&A was, will it be possible to reuse questionnaires across workflows for easy moving it and editing it instead of completely rebuilding?
Yeah, I love this, and it's actually on my roadmap. In fact, before this webinar, I had meeting with my technical team on this. We are designing the solution right now. We'll be able to give you reuse of your workflows, that you can call an existing workflow through external activity. You can call existing one. You can have your own approval processes, custom approval processes. You can call all of that. So we'll give you more flexibility that you can reuse your workflows at any time. You can attach an existing workflow. Let's say your company has a golden set of workflow that you publish and you want your users to always reuse that, right? Let them, we can give you the list of the workflow that are available out of the box. You can pick it up from there, and then you can apply that as a template, and then let your users customize. So a lot is coming in that area. And as I said, even for the approval workflows, if you have a certain approval that you have to follow and you don't want to reinvent the wheel, you can override our approval process, and you can say, I have an approval process that is XYZ, create another brick and bring that approval process in, and do not go to any BMC's approval process. Yes, you will be able to do it. So this is already in progress right now. You will probably see it in next release or so.
Great news. And we've got two final questions and then we can't take any more. If you do want to have any follow-ups, feel free to reach out to me. But Thomas, I've just given you access to speak to us live. Do you want to ask your question? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, and on the right side, you can see the activity log, and there it still says new CRQ has been created by HANA admin. Will this also be changed somewhere in the future so that the requester's name will appear there instead of HANA admin? Because this
Yeah,
is
I
really
can.
confusing
I
our
can.
customers.
This should have been done. That's a good catch. I can check with my team. So submitter, who canceled it, who reopened, all of that should be captured by the user. I'll go and check with the team why it didn't happen in this case. I can reach out to you, Thomas, or
Yeah,
like
okay.
we can probably put it as part of the follow-up question, right? If it is
Yes,
not
please.
there, you don't have to insist on it. It is understood. I will go and check it with the team why it didn't happen here in the demo system. Okay.
Okay, thank
If
you.
not, we will get it fixed. But probably it's a system issue, my demo system issue.
Thanks, Deepak. Thanks, Thomas, for your question. And then we'll take the final question from Manil. Manil, can you hear us? Do you want to come off mute?
Yeah, so using Catalog Curator, can we edit the catalog services that are converted through native? Yeah, so no, we are moving away from SRM. We have enough utilities and everything for you to convert your SRD into native catalog. We are not building anything for SRM. Even though you have migrated it, my expectation is that the utility is out from so many years. Use that, migrate to DWP native catalog. We are not spending any time on SRM anymore. I
Thanks.
saw a question from somebody, I think probably it was answered, that do you have documentation on how the link is created? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, I'm not able to reach to doc site right now. It is given on doc site exactly how you would build the URL. So this resource ID, you will have to give this in the same format. You will have to have a resource ID, right? And then you need to have resource SP question. This is all static. The only dynamic part is this ID. This part comes when you actually are on the requesting screen, right? 1318, for example, right? As you can see, 1318 is here. So you put 1318, and then you have answer underscore the alias name of the question that you would like to be answered. And then this is the enumeration value or the selection value that you have. So same way, answer underscore Adobe version, and then latest was one of the field. Answer underscore monthly cost, and I just pass the value. You can do it for all. You can do it for multiple questions. There is a restriction on certain question like document type, file attachment, where you cannot do that, but most of the questions it is supported. Okay, you can go and check it on docs.bmc.com for release notes in 26.1. You will get this in text directly over there.